His Excellency Tun Dato Sri Utama Ahmad Fuzi, Governor of Penang, the Honorable Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, the Minister of Transport, the Honorable Dato Sri Dr. Siong, Ambassador of China to Malaysia, His Excellency Ambassador Ouyang, the patron and founder of the GCET, Tan Sri Lee Kim Yeoh, the Honorable Yujing, State Minister for Social Development Penang, Tan Sri Majid Khan, Deputy Chairman of KSI. Selamat pagi, selamat datang, good morning, Tasha Chao San Hao. Firstly, I wish to express my deepest appreciation to the Governor of Penang, His Excellency Tun Dato Sri Ahmad Fuzi Abdul Razak, and the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dato Sri Ismail Yaakob, for delivering the opening and keynote addresses respectively of today's summit. We wish to also thank the Ambassador of China, His Excellency Ouyang Yujing, and the Minister of Transport for joining the opening ceremony virtually together with our co-organizing partners, Dr. Fang Kang, President of the China Development Institute, and Mr. Zhang Xiaoqiang, Executive Chairman of the China Center for International Economic Exchanges, Beijing. Today's summit brings together 52 speakers from 15 countries, and we have a total of 400 participants, both present physically and virtually. We recognize that in the post-COVID pandemic era, the new normal global cooperation and global partnership grow even more important to enable the world to build back better with greater resilience, sustainability, and shared prosperity. In this new era, the world needs to focus on the 3 C's challenges: COVID, climate change, and a collaborative future. How to shape a better world through collaboration. To promote global recovery, we need the 4 I's: investment, infrastructure, innovation, and integrity, as well as a strong focus on the 4 P's: people, planet, prosperity, and partnership. We also recognize that in moving forward, technology will determine our future success and be a major growth driver. Technology is a key game changer. The pandemic has accelerated digital transformation with a rapid increase in digital technology, innovation, and e-commerce. But technology is not just digital. Technology also covers green technology to build a future green economy, health technology, agro-technology, and construction technology. With a continued focus and strategic thrust on globalization and technology, we believe that our summit should now refocus and rebrand it as a Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit. This is apt and timely, as it is in line with the vision of our founder and patron, Tan Sri Lee Kim Yeoh, of connecting the global Chinese diaspora and to enhance the role of the global Chinese. We believe that the GCET summit can also promote closer economic and business partnerships between China and ASEAN. This year marks the 30th anniversary of China-ASEAN dialogue relations. Last year, for the first time ever, ASEAN became China's largest trading partner, and China has become, for the first time also, the largest investor in Malaysia. Deepening China-ASEAN relations and Malaysia-China relations can be mutually beneficial. To strengthen our relations, we need to build trust, mutual respect, shared opportunities, and common responsibilities. We believe that this GCET summit can be an effective platform for Track 2 dialogues to deepen China-ASEAN ties, as well as to promote public diplomacy, especially think tank diplomacy and youth diplomacy. In conclusion, I wish to once again thank His Excellency Tun Ahmad Fuzi, the Governor of Penang, the Prime Minister, and all our many distinguished speakers for being with us today to share your wealth of knowledge and expertise. We hope this exchange of views and opinions and the networking opportunities during the day will be useful to all of you. I wish to also record our appreciation to all our many corporate partners and supporting organizations for being part of this summit. We hope the GCET summit can play a small part in helping the global economy to recover, rebuild, and reset. Sekian, terima kasih. Xiaoqiang.
Thank you, Tan Sri, for your welcome remarks. Next, I would like to call upon our co-organizers of this event, Dr. Fang Gang, President of the China Development Institute and the Director of the National Economic Research Institute of China, to give his introductory speech.
Good morning. 大家早上好. Honorable Prime Minister Ismail Sabri, His Excellency Tan Ahmad Fuzi, Honorable Dr. Wika Siong, Honorable Ambassador Ouyang Yujing, and Minister Zhang Xiaoqiang, ladies and gentlemen, all the distinguished guests, thank you very much for coming to this summit. I'm very honored to join Tan Sri Michael Yeoh and Tan Sri Lee Yeoh to welcome all of you to the Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit held in Penang. As we all know, this is really difficult now to hold a physical conference and a meeting due to the pandemic. So I would like to thank Michael Yeoh and the Kingsley Strategic Institute for their effort to organize today's event. I believe the summit is excellent. It is exactly what we need now. It can be a platform for the global leaders and the professionals and the business people from different sectors and different countries to exchange the information, the views, and make a dialogue on some tough issues we all concern. The theme of this year's summit, promoting business, cultural, digital, economy, cooperation, and diplomacy, is highly relevant to in today's world, and particularly relevant for China and ASEAN countries and all the Chinese business leaders in the region. The RCEP is about to be effective very soon. That will provide great more opportunities for all of us. And despite the pandemic and the slowdown of the economic growth, Chinese market has been becoming much more open for international investors and companies in many ways, including many service sectors and new technology industries. There are risks and difficulties we need to discuss, but it's also the time for us to think of how to explore and utilize all the new opportunities ahead. Our China Development Institute is a national think tank for economic and social policy study. We have been working closely with the Kingsley Strategic Institute and other global partners to co-organize a series of events. In 2019, Michael Yeoh was discussing with us to hold the 2020 summit in Shenzhen, and we were very excited about it. Unfortunately, that didn't happen due to the pandemic, but it will happen. So I'm here to offer you our sincere early invitation for the summit in Shenzhen someday in the future. Finally, I would like to thank all the people either in the conference room or online for your participation and contribution to the success of this summit. And I hope you all enjoy the fruitful dialogue, exchange, and discussion today. Thank you very much. 谢谢大家。
Thank you very much, Dr. Fang, for joining us live via Zoom. And thank you for your opening speech. We take heed of your call for continued collaboration and cooperation. And thank you for your kind offer of hosting the future summit in Shenzhen in the years to come. 谢谢你. Next, let's hear the welcome speech by the founder and patron of the Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tan Sri Lee Kim Yew.
Selamat pagi, TYT, Tun Fauji, Governor of Penang, Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, YB Chonging, and Tan Sri Majid, and all the participants of the Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit, and all the honorable that on the crowd. There is an old saying of the Chinese, 以铜为镜，可以正衣冠；以史为镜，可以知兴衰. It means, if you use a mirror, you can always straight up what we look. But if we use a history as a mirror, we can know whether a country will be rise and fall. 200 years ago, the Western philosophy, Western civilization, Western culture, Western education, Western science, Western medication, Western economy, Western politics, to the power of the religious and to the power of the moral and ethic, have influenced and benefit the whole world. But in the past 100 years, after the World War I and World War II, with the US supremacy have raised, the US capitalism, US globalization has effectively represent the Western culture and civilization. Our youngsters today, what they recognize, learn, and actually the American culture and habit, and actually they take it as a true Western civilization. But when we look back at the past 60 years, the American culture, education, science, entertainment, especially the media power, the American fast food, American lifestyle, individual of liberalism, and the bipartisan election system, all has become the world standard. And actually, myself also participate in it, and also we benefit with it. Many would agree that American civilization value more on the materialistic civilization, while actually we starting ignore our social and spiritual civilization, which may be divided away from the Western morality and ethics. We acknowledge that American democracy has given us and has contributed to few decades of advancement and development, and we have enjoyed good life, economic development, raising American culture and civilization. But 20 years ago, when the September 11 incident, until today's COVID-19 pandemic, all this has exposed the imperfection and shortcoming in the so-called American Western culture and the democracy system. To me, this pandemic is a trial to a human civilization. It's a test to us. 800 US citizens have died. Plus, beginning of this year, we have witnessed the incident in the January of the Capitol Hill event. Mass printing of the currency, which is going on, social unrest, gunshot, and firearm incident. We must convince that COVID-19 is a warning from God and is a trial to the humanity. This is why we rebrand the name from World Chinese Economic Summit into Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit. I am more willing to name it the Global Oriental Economic and Technology Summit. But I know Malaysia, we are just a small fry in the total World Chinese Economic family. 东西相协系，经济新意义。I believe the East and West must learn from each other, because in order to create a better world, we must learn from both East and West. And to cooperate a better global economy, the East and West must collaborate with each other, rather than confronting each other. East and West must promote spiritual and cultural exchange and inclusion, rather than exclusion. East and West complement each other, rather than destroying each other. The representation of Eastern culture and civilization, which can be witnessed with the peaceful rise of the China. In the pandemic, with a population of 1.4 million, China only record few thousand death cases in the very beginning, compared over 800 in the US. Under the pandemic, China has presented the world an excellent role model how it should be like to bring the whole nation out of the crisis within such a short period of time, effectively and efficiently. Social stabilization, discipline among the residents, national development, poverty alleviation. China has taken out 500 million of the hardcore poor and create 500 million of the middle class. Space exploration, exhibition and conferences, which provide new business opportunity. China today has the world's most comprehensive industry infrastructure and facility for its nation. Let me quote a few. Today, China has 150,000 kilometers of highway. World most efficient 5G infrastructure has the most number of 5G infrastructure stations. Over 30 kilometers long of high-speed rail. And I can go on so far and so on. The super infrastructure of China. And not only in China, just very recently, a few weeks ago, the Yunnan-Laos speed railway is connected. We know Laos is an inner land. With this speed highway, it really opened up a lot of opportunity. So there's another Confucius saying, if you want to enrich yourself, you must enrich your neighbor. 己以大而大于人. All this has provided much assistance to the development of country, and this is what China today, which has made us proud with the term of Tianghua. It has prospered the country itself and also the wider world. And all this, you think about it, all have been complete just over last 40 years. The achievement and success of China represent Eastern philosophy, Eastern culture, Eastern civilization, and Eastern politics. China's unique and modern socialism is worth for us to give a deep thinking. Is worth for us to learn from it. At the same time, the Western culture is still waiting for us to think and reflection. Once again, I would like to reiterate 东西相学习，经济新意义。I hope the rebrand of Global Chinese Economic Technology Summit can get the continuous support from all of you in this room and all the Chinese diaspora from the globe, and can make Malaysia as your hub, as Malaysia is really a place where the East and West culture meet together. And to me, I hope the East culture and West culture can be represented as a chopstick, one yin and yang, and two big powers must come together instead of confrontation, really live out all the suffer that the business community is facing. Thank you very much. And once again, let me also take this opportunity once again to thank TYT for his time, as Penang is a very unique to me and have a very special place in my heart. As Penang is also one of the, in the recent history, Dr. Sun Yat-sen, who has used Penang as a base to build this today modern China. And I always just take a last 1 minute to share with you. When he is 28 years old, he mentioned 4 things. If you want to develop a country, 人尽其才, you must pay attention to education and build the talent of people. Second, 地尽其力, you must how to lend your land resources to build port, to design all the good master planning for your country. The third, 物尽其用, you must know how to use the material resources of your country to develop all kinds of industry. But last, which I like the most, you must let the goods flow freely. And you look at today is Alibaba or Amazon. I would say Dr. Sun Yat-sen at the age of 28, he is very pro-economy, pro-businessman. And I believe that going forward, with what kind of, whatever political system, we hope we will produce more political leader like Dr. Sun Yat-sen. When he passed away at the time, he only left away his thinking, his book, to help to develop today the modern China. With all that, once again, thank you, 谢谢, Lumba Nandi, and terima kasih.
Thank you, Tan Sri, for your welcome speech. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next, we are most honored to receive a special address from His Excellency Ouyang Yujing, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Malaysia.
尊敬的马来西亚宾州元首敦阿姆霍兹，尊敬的马来西亚总理纳杜斯里伊斯迈尔沙比利，马来西亚交通部长纳杜斯里魏家祥博士，中国国际经济交流中心常务副理事长张小强先生，女士们、先生们，大家上午好！很高兴受邀出席2021年全球华人经济和科技峰会开幕式。在此，我谨代表中华人民共和国驻马来西亚大使馆，对本次峰会的召开表示热烈的祝贺。2021年是中国“十四五”开举之年，我很愿意在此与来自全球开放前沿的各位朋友、专家学者、企业家人士一起，共同探讨经济合作与外交。中马两国是隔海相望的近邻。是和平与发展的同路人，双方经济发展战略契合， 互补性强。建交47年来，无论国际国内风云如何变幻，中马友好关系始终如一。双方在产业园区、基础设施、装备制造、信息通讯、数字经济等多领域的经济合作方面硕果累累。面对百年变局和世纪疫情，中马坚定地携手抗疫，稳步推动经济复苏，坚持推进区域经济一体化，促进两国的共同繁荣。作为重要的新兴经济体和国际舞台上的重要力量，中国愿意与马来西亚一道，推动两国全面战略伙伴关系不断迈上更高水平，进一步加强在国际和地区事务中的沟通合作，践行真正的多边主义，推动构建人类命运共同体。即将实施的21EP将为亚太经济发展提供新动能，对增强各国疫后的经济恢复、促进长期的繁荣发展具有极为重要的推动作用。中国已经发展成为世界第2大经济体、第1大货物贸易国、第1大外资吸收国。中国经济与世界经济在相互促进中实现了互利共赢。同时，中国将继续扩大高水平对外开放。中国开放的大门必将越开越大。中国还将大幅地放宽市场准入，创造更有吸引力的投资环境，与包括马来西亚在内的世界各国共同分享中国发展的更多机遇。女士们、先生们、朋友们，经济全球化将持续发展，各国利益深度融合，这将为世界各国提供更广阔的市场、更充足的资源、更丰富的产品、更宝贵的合作契机。本次峰会以商业、文化、数字经济合作与外交关系为主题。中国高度地重视商业、文化和数字经济的发展，推动以上方面的合作也是我们外交工作的重点。在此，我提3点建议：一是开展多层次、全方位合作对接。本月初，马来西亚外交部长塞弗林访华期间，与中国国务委员兼外长王毅达成了广泛的共识，两国将打造后疫情时期更为坚实的中马全面战略伙伴关系。我们将继续加强中方“十四五”规划与马方第12大马计划等发展战略对接，提升双边经贸投资，深化共建“一带一路”，推进两国双园、东海岸铁路等大项目的合作，加快经济的复苏。二是深挖新兴领域的潜力，双方将重点推进数字经济和绿色发展2大领域的合作，共同把握后疫情时期发展的先机。中方愿与马方一道，进一步挖掘产能合作、互联互通、数字经济等领域的合作潜力。中方一贯对马来西亚的企业、产品和服务进入中国市场持欢迎态度，也希望与马方加强全方位、多层次的交流与合作，共享发展机遇，让发展成果真正惠及两国人民。三是丰富人文交流，促进民心相通。中方愿与马方保持沟通，创新文旅交流合作的模式，加强教育、智库、电影、体育等领域的合作，稳妥有序地开展人员往来，争取早日的恢复常来常往。我相信，随着疫后经济恢复发展，中马将继续在“一带一路”的框架下，深化发展战略对接，培育合作的新动能，打造合作的新亮点，不断地提升两国经贸合作的水平。最后，预祝本次峰会圆满成功。借此机会，祝愿大家身体健康，事业兴旺。谢谢大家。
Our thanks to His Excellency, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China in Malaysia, for his special address. We value very much our friendship with the People's Republic of China in ushering economic cooperation and common prosperity. Next, we have the special address from the Honorable Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong, Minister of Transport, Malaysia.
Salam sejahtera, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to congratulate the Organising Committee for successfully organizing this meaningful event. It is a great honor to be invited to deliver the keynote address at the opening ceremony of the World Chinese Business and Economic Summit, WCBES 2021. In its 13th edition this year, the WCBES aims to connect business leaders and entrepreneurs in China, Southeast Asia, Australia, US, Europe, and the Middle East. It promotes business and economic cooperation and strengthens relations between China and ASEAN. It also brings together the global Chinese diaspora and promotes learning and exchanges between the East and the West. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic has impacted every single layer of the society and changed the ways our world used to work. The restrictions on our movements and the new normal that many of us are familiar with now have accelerated digital transformation in many fields and business sectors. Many business owners are forced to do digital or convert their business online, partially, if not entirely, to sustain their operations and business. The nasi lemak we used to queue for can now be easily purchased online with just a few taps on our mobile phones. Our parents have learned to order groceries online and get them delivered to our doorstep. While many of us are hoping to return to the world that was before the pandemic, we also appreciate the efficiency and convenience that the digital world offers, while business owners enjoy a bigger and wider market reach online. The changes are in many ways correlated to the transport and logistic industries, which play a huge part in keeping the economy going during the pandemic or even in the post-pandemic era. The huge surge in online sales also translate into a much higher demand of logistics workers and busier ports. The Ministry of Transport Malaysia had implemented several series of port clearing exercises during the MCO to ensure unhindered movement of goods from our ports and adequate and uninterrupted movement of goods for our convenient marketplaces and e-commerce activities. On 23rd November 2021, the Port of Tanjung Pelepas PTP has successfully achieved 10 million TEUs in container handling. This is an impressive achievement as it had not only exceeded last year's 9.85 million TEUs, but went beyond it even before the year ended. We are also thankful that Port Klang has been recognized as having the most efficient operations among 22 of the world's biggest and most prominent ports worldwide, handling an average of 131 ships weekly and taking just 1.7 days to service each vessel compared with 1.3 days in 2017 to 2019 before the pandemic occurred. This is quicker than our regional competitors at a time when 77% of ports were experiencing abnormally long time of turnaround, according to a Bloomberg report. Other than that, the Ministry of Transport has also decided to allow the use of prime movers and trailers shared under a single group of companies. The implementation is seen as an effort to empower the logistic industry in order to optimize existing resources, especially in response to current challenging economic conditions. It is estimated that the company will be able to reduce operating costs by 10 to 20% by shortening the rotation speed of prime movers and save time. As a Minister of Transport, I'm also pleased to report that we have recently managed to finalize and proceed with the originally planned northern alignment of the East Coast Rail Link ECRL project. Reverting the ECRL to its original alignment will make it more competitive, not just economically, but also reduce its environmental and social impacts. The ECRL project is part of the Chinese government's Belt and Road Initiative, which will be the land bridge that will link the country's east and west coast and spur growth to close the development and economic gaps between the east and the west coast. Ladies and gentlemen, even though we are still grappling with the COVID-19 pandemic, we are happy to note that the systematic reopening of various economic sectors under the National Recovery Plan and the introduction of the vaccinated travel lanes are gradually easing our economic recovery. Economic indicators are showing a strong rebound in the monthly GDP growth from a decline of 28.8% in April 2020 to an increase of 40.1% and 19.8% in April and May 2021 respectively. This proves that the implementation of the government's stimulus and assistance packages have indeed set the momentum for economic recovery. The labor market is showing optimistic results, with the unemployment rate continuing a downward trend at 4.5% in September 2021 compared to 5.3% in May last year. Our manufacturing sales also increased 11.6% year-on-year to 135.3 billion ringgit in September, or 6.9% for the previous month. In October 2021, our monthly export and import unit value indexes recorded a growth of 1.4% and 0.6% respectively. The growing external demand will be a welcoming development to support of foreign trade activities. We believe our path for recovery will continue to be driven by the implementation of the 12 Malaysia Plan from 2021 to 2025. As a major national recovery agenda, the 12 Malaysia Plan highlights the government's commitment and efforts to restore economic stabilities and promote post-pandemic economic growth. Under the 12 Malaysia Plan, the government is committed to creating an ecosystem that supports the gig economy. The government has undertaken several efforts to encourage Malaysians to take full benefit of the opportunities presented in gig economy, especially in the face of unemployment and underemployment when the nation is heading towards post-pandemic recovery. The pandemic has accelerated the growth of the gig economy, which opens up new jobs that help boost household income and reduce dependence on foreign labor. On this notion, Budget 2022 has recognized the growing importance and trends of the gig economy by providing assistance to a growing number of gig workers. There will be more tax relief for gig workers, Employees Provident Fund, EPF contributions, while the coverage of social protection under the Social Security Organization, SOCSO, will also be expanded to include new categories of informal workers. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish all of you a fruitful and inspiring summit. May we learn from each other's success stories and continue to step up our efforts in improving the economy. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Our thanks to the Honourable Minister of Transportation Malaysia, Dato Siong, for sending us his well wishes and kind words over video and speaking about the cooperation that we can have. Next, we have the special address from Mr. Zhang Xiaoqiang, Executive Vice Chairman of the China Center for International Economic Exchanges, who will be joining us online. Thank you, Mr. Zhang.
尊敬的丹斯里杨元庆主席，尊敬的丹斯里李金友先生，女士们、先生们，大家上午好。很高兴受邀参加本届峰会。今年的峰会更加注重科技创新、数字经济对疫情下全球经济复苏和今后可持续发展的重要作用。在此，我愿和大家就中国数字经济创新发展和对外开放分享一些体会。2021年是中国“十四五”规划的开局之年，我们统筹经济社会发展和抗击疫情，实现良好开局。预计今年中国经济将增长8%，总量超过17万亿美元，人均 GDP 将首次超过1.2万美元。科技创新、数字化转型升级的重要作用更加突出。中国“十四五”规划提出，加快数字化发展，建设数字中国。这既要打造数字经济新优势，也要加快数字社会建设步伐，提高数字政府建设水平，并营造良好的数字生态。中国是世界第2大数字经济大国，近年来进展迅速，移动互联网、大数据、云计算、人工智能等加快向实体经济渗透，新技术、新业态、新模式快速迭代，数字经济新动能作用持续增强。截至今年10月底，中国建成的5G 基站超过130万个，占世界70%以上。终端连接数超过4.7亿，占世界80%以上，是全球规模最大、技术最先进的5G 网络。5G 加工业互联网、5G 加文化创意、智能化交通、智慧城市等快速发展。今年1至10月，电子信息制造业、软件和信息技术服务业这2个数字经济核心产业的增速分别达到15%和19%。互联网和相关服务业同比增长25%，网上的商业零售额约1.6万亿美元，同比增长近25%。数字化发展全面赋能生产、投资、消费和贸易。10月30日，习近平主席在20国集团领导人第16次峰会讲话指出，数字经济是科技创新的重要前沿，要共担数字时代的责任，加快新型数字基础设施建设，促进数字技术同实体经济深度融合，帮助发展中国家消除数字鸿沟。11月1日，中国 申请加入数字经济关系协定，并将更加积极深入地参与全球数字经济合作和治理，为推动全球的数字经济健康发展贡献中国力量。“14五”期间，中国将加快构建以国内大循环为主体、国内国际双循环相互促进的新发展格局，在以内需为发展的战略基点的同时，也将加快构建高水平开放型经济新体制。中国的门将越开越大，中国将积极推进制度性开放，不断改善营商环境。今年以来，海南自由贸易港和多个自由贸易试验区在扩大市场准入、推动贸易与投资自由化便利化方面积极探索，不断取得新成果。高质量共建“一带一路”成效显著。近日正式通车的中老铁路就是一个生动实例。“14五”时期，中国也将实施自由贸易区提升战略，构建面向全球的高标准自由贸易区网络。当前，我们正在和各国一同努力，加快推进 RCEP 的落地实施，继续推动中日韩自贸区谈判，申请加入 CPTPP， 同时升级多个双边和多边贸易协定，并对接国际高标准经贸规则，积极参加 WTO 等的改革。今年1至10月，中国实际使用的外商投资达到1420亿美元，比去年同期增长23%，位居世界前列。这充分反映了中国巨大的市场商机和外商对中国坚持高水平对外开放政策的信心。6000万海外华人华侨是中国经济发展的重要力量，既是维系中国与其他国家良好的政商文关系的桥梁纽带，也为中国发展贡献了大量宝贵的人智财资源。我们一贯高度重视华人华侨群体，也出台了一系列的利好政策。我们也希望华人华侨同胞在经济、文化等各方面与中国发展更加紧密的连接，也相信广大的华人华侨同胞能够把握新机遇，共享中国发展的新红利。CCIE 是国家首批建设的25家高端智库之一。在曾培炎理事长领导下，我们在重大课题研究、服务国家决策、开展公共外交等方面做了许多卓有成效的工作。我们愿意和各国的华人组织开展多种形式的交流合作，为在新时期 加强联络，增进合作，共同发展做出贡献。祝本次峰会圆满成功，谢谢大家。
谢谢你，张先生。Thank you very much, Mr. Zhang, for your special address. Next up, we have a video greetings from His Excellency Jusuf Kalla, former Vice President of the Republic of Indonesia.
Good morning or good days for all my friend Dr. Tan Sri Michelle Yeoh, Tan Sri Lee Kuan Yew, and all participants of this conference. First of all, congratulations for the 2001 World Chinese Business and Technology Economic Summit. This is very important because now on all the economy in the world have gained crisis because COVID-19, and we should be working together to recovery in economy on this kind of. We know today that technology is now on verify, especially in information technologies, and needed company understand, or of course knowing implementation of this technology and in our business too. That's why congratulations. We hope that the economy will be recovered with cooperation and participation of all. The summit is very important to working together. Again, congratulations. Thank you very much. Good day.
Our thanks to His Excellency Jusuf Kalla for his very kind words. Next, we have the privilege to hear the opening address by the Honorable Dato Sri Ismail Sabri bin Yaakob, the Prime Minister of Malaysia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam keluarga Malaysia. Tuan Yang Terutama, Tun Datuk Seri Utama Ahmad Fuzi Abdul Razak, Governor of Pulau Pinang. Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri IR Dr. Siong, Minister of Transport. His Excellency Ouyang Yujing, Ambassador of People's Republic of China to Malaysia. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Lee Kim Yew, Founder and Patron of GCET. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, Organising Chairman GCET. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. Ta Chia Hao. Firstly, thank you for inviting me to partake in the Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit, GCET 2021. A hearty congratulations to KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific, KSI, for successfully hosting this important event. I understand that this summit aims to enhance business collaborations and partnerships in the digital economy and technological spheres by providing an engagement platform and opportunities with regional and global markets. Ladies and gentlemen, the outbreak of COVID-19 last year granted us the opportunity to accelerate digital transformations. The public and private sectors were forced to embrace technology and shift operations online in a matter of weeks. Virtual meetings like today's summit have become a new norm for us. Beyond the urgent necessity to adopt digital solutions, this shift has also improved the government's delivery system during the crisis. This helped ensure that essential services are provided to the people in a safe and secure manner, while simultaneously responding to the ongoing COVID-19 crisis. However, we should not let this shift born out of necessity be a temporary one. seizing opportunities emerging from the innovative technologies and business models will play an important role in driving new engine of economic growth. In that spirit, Malaysia launched the My Digital initiative that is part of the government's plan to accelerate Malaysia's progress to becoming a technologically advanced economy by 2030. This initiative will be implemented through the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint, which encourages the creation of a society deeply integrated with technology, governed by the principle of inclusivity, equitability, and environmental sustainability. Through the My Digital initiative, the government has set an ambitious target of creating 500,000 new job opportunities in the digital economy by implementing the following measures. 875,000 micro enterprises and SMEs to go digital via e-commerce. Create 5,000 startups within the next 5 years and attract USD 17.32 billion international and domestic digital investments. In a bid to expand and improve Malaysia's digital connectivity, the National Digital Network, or Jendela Action Plan, was established. It will be the platform to achieve our digital aspirations through widespread deployment of mobile, fiber, and fixed wireless access, as well as pave the way to 5G connection. The National Trade Blueprint that aims to uplift export capacity and capabilities was also launched to facilitate the widened market access globally. It is also to pursue sustainability and innovation by leveraging on technology and digitalization. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia has always been a firm believer of free, fair, and open trade anchored upon the rules-based multilateral trading system. The signing of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP, agreement in November 2020 signifies Malaysia's commitment to regional integration while boosting economic activity. Being the largest FTA in the world, RCEP offers preferential market access to approximately 2.2 billion people, which is equivalent to a third of the world's population. This will not only present new opportunities for Malaysian businesses, but also for regional business communities tapping into RCEP to access Malaysian and ASEAN markets more broadly. Ladies and gentlemen, recognizing the People's Republic of China's economic potential, Malaysia pioneered diplomatic outreach to China and became the first ASEAN member state to formalize diplomatic relations with China in 1974. Strategic ties between both countries have flourished, creating numerous new chapters in the history of our bilateral as well as ASEAN-China relations. Building upon this close and enduring friendship, Malaysia and China have continued to strengthen economic ties even during the current crisis. China has been Malaysia's largest trading partner since 2009 and accounted for 18.6% of Malaysia's total trade in 2020. Export to China recorded a new high in 2020, expanding by 11.1% to $37.77 billion US. China was also Malaysia's biggest import source, accounting for 21.5% of total imports. On the investment front, China emerged as the largest foreign investor in the manufacturing sector in Malaysia from 2016 to 2020. During these 5 years, the Ministry of International Trade and Industry Malaysia, through its agency, Malaysian Investment Development Authority or MIDA, approved 243 projects with a total investment of 14.91 billion US dollar. This provided more than 50,000 job opportunities in Malaysia. Renowned Chinese companies such as Huawei, Longi Solar, Jinke Solar, Alliance Steel, Alibaba Group, Geely Auto Group, Xiamen University, and many others have made Malaysia their preferred investment destination. The presence of these world-renowned companies is a testament of Malaysia's business-friendly ecosystem. Malaysia and China's economic collaborations were further strengthened with the signing of the 5-year program for economic and trade cooperation and the Belt and Road Initiative or BRI in 2013 and 2017 respectively. In fact, Malaysia is one of the earliest supporters of China's ambitious BRI policy, recognizing its huge economic potential and role in promoting greater integration. Ladies and gentlemen, Malaysia offers unparalleled advantages for investors, not just a gateway to ASEAN, but to markets of the world. Several international organizations in their latest reports attest to the efficacy of the policies implemented by the government. For instance, the IMD World Competitiveness Center ranked Malaysia as the 25th most competitive nation among 64 economies in 2021, and the World Economic Forum on the Network Readiness Index 2016 ranked Malaysia 6th most digitally savvy government out of 139 economies. Our pro-business philosophy is evidenced by the government's commitment to the concept of a public-private partnership. Rebuilding Malaysia's economy will not be an easy feat, but it is critical for all of us to remain united as we navigate our way out of the economic downturn brought on by the pandemic. Having said that, I call upon the private sector to be the catalyst for reform, to drive sustainability and contribute to our collective goal of making Malaysia even more resilient. On that note, I hereby declare the Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit open. Thank you. 谢谢.
Our thanks to the Honourable Prime Minister of Malaysia for those words of encouragement and highlighting some of the government's initiatives, especially its efforts in the digital economy and highlighting the importance of Malaysia's growing bilateral ties with China. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my privilege and honour to invite His Excellency Tuan Yang Tu Utama, Tun Dato Seri Utama Ahmad Fuzi bin Haji Abdul Razak, the Governor of Penang, to deliver the summit's keynote address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri bin Yaakob, Prime Minister of Malaysia, His Excellency Jusuf Kalla, former Vice President, Republic of Indonesia, the Honorable Datuk Seri Insinyur Dr. Wee Ka Siong, Minister of Transport, Malaysia, His Excellency Ouyang Yujing, Ambassador of People's Republic of China to Malaysia, the Honorable Chong Eng, Penang State Minister, EXCO for Social Development and Non-Islamic Religious Affairs, and Chairperson, Penang Women's Development Corporation, Malaysia, Tan Sri Majid Khan, Deputy Chairman of KSI, organizers, excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning and salam sejahtera. I'm pleased to join all of you here this morning for this Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit, GCET 2021. I would like to convey my thanks to the principal organizer, KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific, and the co-organizers, including the Golden Horse Digital Investment Bank and the China Development Institute, for this invitation to deliver the keynote address. The summit's theme, promoting business, cultural and digital economy cooperation and diplomacy, speaks well to our aspirations today. I'm happy and proud that Penang is playing host to the GCET. I would like to bid a warm welcome to all participants, especially those who came all the way to Penang. As it has been noted, this event is timely as we have only commemorated the 30th anniversary of the ASEAN-China dialogue relations. China remains an important economic and strategic partner to Malaysia and by extension, Penang. Let me begin by speaking about Penang. Penang is indeed well positioned and poised to reap the benefits from our close relations with China. Since the inception of diplomatic relations between Malaysia and China in 1974, Penang has been a recipient and beneficiary in various areas including trade, education, culture, and tourism. Penang counts on China as one of its top trading partners, especially in our semiconductor and electronics and electrical industries. According to MITI, Penang attracted over 53 billion RM in approved investments in the manufacturing sector from 2016 until June 2021. This is a testament to Penang's world-class talent, business-friendly environment, and our innovative economy. I must say that Penang clearly punches above our weight, despite our small population of only 1.8 million people and a relatively small geographical size of just over 1,000 square kilometers of land area. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, Penang's economy accounts for 6.9% of Malaysia's GDP, and 95% of it is driven by the manufacturing and services sectors. We command an estimated 5% of global semiconductor sales in 2019. Thanks to the visionary policies of the past, Penang's economy was transformed from a traditional port into the Silicon Valley of the East. The establishment of Bayan Lepas Free Industrial Zone as the first free trade zone in Penang drew massive investments from 8 multinational corporations dubbed as the 8 Samurai, such as Intel, Robert Bosch, and AMD. This game changer put Penang on the map as a regional electronics manufacturing hub. Ladies and gentlemen, as one of Malaysia's economic powerhouses, Investment Penang figures showed that Penang is home to more than 350 MNCs that are supported by over 4,000 manufacturing-related SMEs. Fortunately, we have managed to move our economy up the value chain, ranging from research and development and design and knowledge-based solutions to global business service and center of excellence activities. The proof is in the pudding. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, in 2020, Penang contributed close to 30% of Malaysia's total trade, amounting to more than RM 500 billion, which is second only to Selangor, a major state in Malaysia. Penang contributed close to 70%, to be exact, 68% of Malaysia's RM 189.3 billion export of electronic integrated circuits and 45% of the nation's RM 86.7 billion exports of other E&E products. It is worth mentioning, despite the pandemic and the repeated breakdowns and lockdowns, Penang's total exports continued growing in 2020 by 7% year-on-year to RM 311 billion. This shows that our economic fundamentals are sound and strong. Be that as it may, we cannot rest on our laurels. I believe Penang will and must continue to be globally competitive. We must be ahead of the curve. The Batu Kawan Industrial Park, BKIP, is one of these initiatives to bring Penang to the next level. The 1,151-acre BKIP currently houses over 160 companies, both MNCs and local corporations such as Micron Technology Inc., Lam Research Corporation, Dexcom Inc., Simtech Holdings Company Limited, Vitrox Corporation Berhad, Pentamaster Corporation Berhad, Inari Emerton Berhad, and Greatech Technology Berhad. These companies are on the cutting edge of innovation and technological advances, with many of them leveraging fourth industrial revolution technologies such as artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and 5G. With easy access to the airport on the island through the Penang Second Bridge, the BKIP will complement Bayan Lepas Free Industrial Zone. With an ecosystem of investors, academic institutions, government and private sector, both these industrial zones will create an innovation supercluster, similar to superclusters in Canada and Silicon Valley in the US, that will be pivotal for Penang's future. To all investors and business in this room, I say to you, Penang is definitely open for business. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've mentioned, Penang has come a long way, and I believe the secret weapon to Penang's success is in our people. As you would know, Penangites are multiracial, multicultural, and multi-faith, and we are very proud of our diversity. We embrace diversity as our strength. Our community was shaped by centuries of rich history, from the founding of modern Penang by Francis Light in 1786 and our subsequent growth as an entrepot in the 19th century. The migration of the Chinese and Indian diasporas into Penang to live in harmony with the local Malay community, not to mention the Eurasian and Siamese communities, has made it a vibrant community that we have today. This melting pot of ethnicities and cultures is reflected in our heritage and architecture. It is no wonder why Georgetown became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2008. Diversity was, is, and will always be our strength as we navigate through the uncertain and ambiguous 21st century. Now let me touch a bit on Penang and China. Now, Penang and China have a special relationship. In fact, Penang played an important role in the founding of the Chinese Republic, as Dr. Sun Yat-sen, the founder of modern-day China, spent a number of years in Penang. Tan Sri Lim alluded to this much earlier. And the place where Dr. Sun resided is now the Sun Yat-sen Museum in Penang. Interestingly, Dr. Sun and his supporters launched the first Chinese daily newspapers, Guanghua Yit Po, in December 1910, which still operates until today. The people-to-people relations between Penang and China are indeed strong. It is worth noting that the Penang Island City Council is already a sister city with Xiamen in China. Penang and Xiamen have many similarities, such as the culture, Hokkien dialect, and even the architecture. I am grateful for the support from Xiamen and the Chinese Consulate General here in Penang for providing us with over 10,000 units of N95 masks during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic last year. I hope through the Penang-Xiamen Friendship Association, we can deepen our collaboration in business, cultural, and digital economy. I'm confident we can explore many more opportunities together with events such as GCET. The relationship between Penang and China, in fact, goes further, with friendly city cooperation between Georgetown, Penang, and China's city of Zhongshan, as well as friendly cooperative relations between the City Council of Penang Island and China's Chengdu Municipal People's Government. Among the area of interest are cooperation in the field of tourism, culture, food, education, and information sharing. I believe events such as this summit would provide a good opportunity for Penang to deepen further our collaboration. But as the world begins to gradually reopen following the COVID-19 pandemic, our tourism sector has a lot to offer the world. Penang is a top tourist destination for local and international visitors alike. We have beautiful and interesting places such as the Penang Hill, Kek Lok Si Temple, Fort Cornwallis, and Glen Jetties. I'm proud to say that Penang is the unofficial capital of Malaysian cuisine. In addition, Penang has been recognized by the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Industry Blueprint 2021 to 2025 as being the most established state in healthcare travel. We have a strong reputation for our medical tourism with its affordability, abundance of facilities, and high-quality services. Although the pandemic has affected our tourism industry somewhat, I'm confident that we can recover with the gradual opening now taking place. The Digital Penang Plan can also benefit from closer cooperation with China's technology giants, which play a key role in shaping our digital future. I call for greater collaboration in digital technology cooperation between Penang and China. And the theme of today's summit on promoting digital economy cooperation is therefore most apt and timely. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be remiss of me if I do not touch on the special relationship between ASEAN and China. Over the years, when I was the Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Malaysia, I had witnessed many momentous occasions. It is particularly exciting to see the growth of relations between China and ASEAN. Indeed, of all the dialogue partners, China has been most proactive in coming out with new initiatives to further enhance China-ASEAN cooperative relations. It is certainly most encouraging to see such relations that was established 30 years ago being upgraded to a comprehensive strategic partnership for peace, security, prosperity, and sustainable development. Our region's close relations with China has borne fruits. Trade between China and ASEAN has skyrocketed by 85 times since the two sides established their dialogue relations in 1991. Since 2009, China has remained ASEAN's largest trading partner for 12 consecutive years. Correspondingly, ASEAN, and by extension Malaysia, has become China's biggest trading partner. In fact, in the first half of this year, bilateral trade between China and ASEAN continued robust expansion, registering a year-on-year growth of 38.2%. Meanwhile, as of June of 2021, mutual investment between China and ASEAN exceeded USD 310 billion. It is indeed an exciting time for our region. Last year, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership was formally signed. The 15 RCEP countries make up one-third of the world's 7.7 billion people, as well as one-third of the world's GDP. RCEP is by far the world's largest trade bloc in history. With the signatories of 6 of the 10 ASEAN and 4 out of the 5 non-ASEAN signatories, we look forward to this free trade agreement coming into force on January 1, 2022. Beyond economic cooperation, China has been a strong ally of the region, especially during the pandemic. As of October, China had provided ASEAN member states with over 300 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines and a large quantity of emergency medical supplies. Additionally, China has been sending teams of medical experts to help build virus testing labs and work on vaccine trials with several ASEAN economies. We welcome the China-ASEAN Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, which was announced during the recent China-ASEAN Special Summit to commemorate the 30th anniversary of ASEAN-China dialogue relations held on 22nd November of 2021. We also welcome China's President Xi Jinping's commitment to provide USD 1.5 billion in post-pandemic development assistance and economic recovery over the next 3 years. This is on top of the Belt and Road Initiative, which have benefited the region. I echo President Xi's words of reaffirmation to ASEAN. China was, is, and will always be a good neighbor, good friend, and good partner of ASEAN. Now, these are indeed reassuring words. We look forward to their unshaken fulfillment. It is our sincere hope that future relations between China and ASEAN would be brighter, with all stakeholders in ASEAN and China taking the extra efforts to move toward to developing a closer China-ASEAN community with a shared future and in making the region and the world even more prosperous. Ladies and gentlemen, we are truly living in interesting and exciting times. Only 3 years ago, we were talking about technological disruption with the advent of the fourth industrial revolution, political polarization caused by populism and climate change. Then, this black swan or once-in-a-century event took the world by storm, COVID-19. Its impact is and will be long-lasting on the way we live, work, and play. The future, it would seem, continues to be unpredictable and challenging. What is important is for us to be always prepared to tackle these challenges head-on. As we look into 2022 and beyond, I'm optimistic that Penang and Malaysia will bounce back better. We have overcome various crises since our independence and will always come out stronger on the other side. Our country is resilient and has been proven to absorb shocks as they come. However, the reality is we are not out of the woods yet. COVID-19 is not over. In fact, it is probably here to stay, and we will need to live with it as an endemic. We cannot go back to business as usual. Thus, it is incumbent on the government, the private sector, and civil society to adapt to these changing times. On that note of cautious optimism, I would like to once again welcome all of you to this Global Chinese Economic and Technology Summit. I look forward to hearing creative ideas and inputs from the speakers and panels, as I believe it will be important for Penang to learn from others on how we can do things differently for the better. Once again, my thanks to KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific as the organizer and the co-organizers for holding the summit in Penang. I wish all of you a fruitful summit, and may God bless all of us. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.